Hi there. Greetings and welcome to my podcast Globe Talk. Today, we will be discussing the Vietnam War, with a focus on its justification, conduct, and aftermath. You know, the Vietnam War is such a complex chapter in history. The justifications for it, the conduct during it, and the aftermath, it's all so interesting.
Absolutely. It's like a well-knitted blanket with threads of political ideas, ideological clashes, and human suffering. But there are some lesser-known sides too, aren't there? Let's begin. The Communist government of North Vietnam fought South Vietnam and its main ally, the United States, in the long, expensive, and dividing Vietnam War. The Cold War that was still going on between the US and the USSR caused the problem. The Vietnam War caused the lives of approximately 3 million people, of which more than half were civilians from Vietnam, including over 58,000 Americans.
The USA became involved in Vietnam because it feared the spread of communism. The USA were unable to defeat the Viets and were met with growing opposition to the war back home.
And this resulted on giving the president authority to take all necessary measures to oppose any armed attack upon the United States.
One fascinating aspect is how the war was justified. Many point to the domino theory, the fear that if one country fell to communism, others would follow their lead. But did you know that the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which escalated US involvement, might not have happened as reported?
I've heard some skepticism about that event, but it's still amazing to think that it might have been exaggerated or even fabricated to a new level.
Exactly. And when we consider the conduct of the war, it's not just about battles and strategies. There were a lot of social problems, like the widespread use of chemical agents like Agent Orange and napalm, which had devastating effects on both soldiers as well as civilians.
It's chilling to think about the long-term consequences of those decisions. The environmental damage alone is unjustifying, not to mention the health issues that continue to affect many generations.
The Vietnam War lasted about 40 years and involved several countries. The American public was also dissatisfied with the course of events in South Vietnam. A January 1965 Gallup poll indicated that 2 out of 3 Americans agreed that the country would never form a stable government, and that 4 out of 5 Americans felt that the communists were winning. The Vietnam War had several negative effects, including draft resistance and a decrease in public trust in the government. Because of the Army's acts against Vietnamese people and their villages during the Vietnam War, American society began to lose faith in the government.
And let's not forget the aftermath, the social, economic, and political fallout. The war left deep scars on both Vietnam and the United States. But did you know about Operation Baby Lift?
Operation Baby Lift? No, that's not something I know about.
Operation Baby Lift was a massive effort to evacuate Vietnamese children, more than 3,000 Vietnamese orphans to the US during the collapse of South Vietnam, and many other countries for adoption. It's a really unknown side of the war, but it speaks a lot about the human side of the conflict.
Wow, that's both heartwarming and heartbreaking. It's incredible how history can reveal these hidden layers of humanity amidst such turmoil.
Absolutely. The Vietnam War is a reminder of the twists and turns of human nature and the importance of understanding history in all its shades. It's a story that continues to echo through generations, teaching us lessons we can't afford to forget.
Indeed, Brian. And conversations like these help keep those echoes alive, ensuring that we never lose sight of the past and its heartfelt impact on our present and future.
Especially when there is yet many things to discover about the history of the world we live in, there is a lot of it that we would have to make multiple of these podcasts. So be sure to tune in for more Globe Talk episodes.
Thank you. A project by VaskarSubba.